Section of Barbican Road was closed due to shooting. The police were redirecting traffic along Barbican Road following the closure of a portion of the road due to a fatal shooting incident. Circumstances around the incident are not clear at this time, but unconfirmed reports are that a crime scene between Sovereign North Shopping Mall and Arcade Village was being processed. Motorists were encouraged to use alternative routes until further notice. St. James wanted man shot dead in police confrontation. One of St. James' wanted men, Colin Walters, also known as 1 o'clock, was shot and killed during an alleged confrontation with the police at a guest house in Montego Bay on Wednesday. The incident happened about 2:25 p.m. Walters, a member of the 13th Street Gang, hailed from an address in Red Square in the community of Tucker. He was suspected a triggerman in the murder of Nigel Smith, 28, on Tuesday night. A 24-year-old man was shot in both legs, while a 55-year-old was shot at during the incident at a guest house. Head of the St. James Police Superintendent Aaron Samuels said the police were attacked. Upon conducting this operation, the members of the operational support team were fired upon by the suspect. Members of the team returned fire, and at the end of the incident, one man was seen clutching a Browning single-action pistol with 3 live rounds remaining in the magazine, he told reporters. Another operation was conducted earlier where 2 other suspects were arrested and they would be interviewed in relation to said incident, Samuels stated. Meanwhile, Samuels is urging criminals to turn in themselves. We will not relent in our bid to keep this parish safe, and as such, we will be naming persons of interest and wanted persons. The mystery of the beer bottles found at Keith Clark's home. The daughter of slain businessman Keith Clark has sought to explain the mystery surrounding the presence of numerous red stripe beer bottles seen scattered at her home in St. Andrew on the night of the incident. Photographs of the bottles in the basement, living room, and outside of the house were shown in the home circuit court where 3 soldiers are being tried for the May 27, 2010 murder of her father. Clark's widow, who was the prosecution's first witness, previously testified that she did not know who placed the bottles there in the home or how they got there. But her daughter, after looking at the photograph, which showed 8 bottles on a table in the living room, testified that the bottles were there on May 26 when she arrived home, or earlier on May 27 when Clark escorted her home. While commenting on the photograph showing several beer bottles on a ledge outside the house, she volunteered that her father would normally leave the bottles along the ledge of the garbage collector to pick up and take to Red Stripe Company. Clark, a 63-year-old chartered accountant, was shot 21 times during the raid at his Kirkland house in the Red Hill, St. Andrew, by soldiers in search of then fugitive Christopher Dudus Coke. Coke was wanted by United States authorities for drug and gun running offenses. 3 soldiers, Lance Corporal Greg Tinklin and Odette Buckley, as well as Private Arnold Henry, are on trial. Judge Dale Palmer is presiding. The defense is contending that Dudus and a group of men had been hiding in the basement and had used Clark's backyard as an escape route. The defense also claims that Clark pointed his licensed firearm at the soldiers and that gunshots were then fired from inside the house, damaged 2 vehicles that were parked at the house. Mother makes passionate plea in court for accused son. In a heartfelt appeal, the mother of one of the 3 accused in a theft case begged the judge to give her son a second chance when the matter was brought up in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday. Asking Senior Parish Judge Burrell for permission to speak, which was granted, the mother explained that she felt the 3 accused should enter a guilty plea because they were told to collect televisions, which turned out to be stolen property. The mother's view did not coincide with the legal advice provided to the 3 accused, Michael Richards, Sanjay Haddad, and a minor, leading to her dismissal of all 3 whom she was representing. They were then assigned legal aid. The 2 men and the minor are accused of housebreaking, larceny, and malicious destruction of property. Court documents state that the 3 were caught on CCTV footage removing items from a property. The value of the removed items included damages done to the property amounting to $350,000. Acting on new legal advice, the distraught mother explained that she was willing to pay $450,000 in restitution for all 3 accused, but was asking for 2 weeks to make the payment. The complainant agreed to the restitution, but in the amount of $600,000. The case is to return to court on June 18, 2024 for restitution as proposed by the defendant and his family. Expressing her satisfaction with the turnaround of the case, which was initially being sent to trial, Judge Burrell said, "This is about giving these young men another chance. You walk away without a criminal record." They were remanded in custody until the next court date. Woman accused of setting boyfriend on fire over infidelity granted bail. A 30-year-old woman who allegedly set her boyfriend on fire during a dispute was granted $300,000 bail in the St. Catherine Parish Court. Shanika Malcolm is charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm. In granting bail, the court considered that she has a young child and an ill mother, both of whom depend on her for support. Malcolm is to surrender her travel documents and report to the Clarendon Police once weekly. Her next court date is July 2nd. Allegations are that about 10 p.m. on April 25th, the complainant was at home in Kristen Pen in Portmore when he was visited by Malcolm. An argument reportedly developed between them after Malcolm accused the 32-year-old man of being unfaithful. They have been together for 7 years. She allegedly doused him with the white rum and then used a lighter to set the complainant ablaze. He was rescued by a neighbor and rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was admitted for 12 days with extensive burns to back and lower body. Tell us about your traffic ticket concerns, Voss, please. Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport Minister Darrell Voss is inviting motorists who have encountered major issues with the enforcement of the new Road Traffic Act (RTA) to bring them to the government's attention so that they can be assessed before the review of the legislation is completed at the end of June. I'm making an appeal to all those motorists who post things on social media about situations that they had with tickets they have gotten that they don't see it fair and just to reach out to the ministry. Reach out to me. Put your position forward and what you are recommending, and of course, we'll look at it with a view of resolving the issue, he stated. Voss was making his contribution to the 2024-2025 sectoral debate in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, said several concerns that have risen as it relates to some abnormalities in the Act are a part of the review being carried out. Only on June 3rd, the Cabinet approved the revision of the child restraint provision, and those will be coming in Parliament in short order. The Island Traffic Authority, the Police and the Transport Authority are being equipped to effectively carry out their responsibilities under the Act, he stated. Voss stressed that the rule of law on roads must be adhered to and said there will be no watering down of the legislation. Every effort will be made to bring the remaining provisions of Act in form, he stated. The RTA was promulgated in 2018 and its regulations in February 2023 bring most of the Act's provisions to force. Meanwhile, turning to the Transport Authority, the minister noted that the entity has recruited 50 additional inspectors and collaborated with the Jamaica Constabulary Force under its Operation Streamline program to ensure adherence to transportation laws. He noted that in the past 4 weeks under the program, the authority has seized over 200 motor vehicles, with over 1,500 prosecutions being undertaken for various offences, including failure to renew road license that expired on March 31. We are committed to ensuring that PPV operators adhere to the laws of the land through the enforcement of the recently enacted Road Traffic Regulation 2022 and public engagement efforts promoting a culture of lawfulness. A greater responsibility is bestowed on PPV operators who are entrusted to transport the nation's most valuable assets, our people. The lawlessness will not continue, he said. He said Tuesday's horrific accident, which claimed the life of one passenger and injured several others, the aftermath of which he said was a witness on his way to Parliament, drive home his point that lawlessness on the roads will not be tolerated. The incident, which occurred along Washington Boulevard, involved the collision of a PPV coaster bus and a truck. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.